Hey everyone, I'm Liz, CEO at Anatomy Warehouse, and welcome back to the Hands On Lab. This is episode 2, and I'm super excited to walk through a very fun product with you guys today. And at Anatomy Warehouse, one of our biggest priorities is supporting healthcare educators and learners with tools that deliver the very best learning experiences. And while mastering clinical procedures is super critical, we know that the human side of healthcare education, specifically communication between patients and caretakers, is just as important as learning how to do IV, CPR, intubation, and all the good stuff. And really, for too long, simulating that soft skill between patients and caregivers has been really difficult to simulate in a learning environment. Oftentimes, training relied on manually configured, really complicated patient dialogue trees with really limited responses, or even human stand ins that couldn't truly replicate live patient scenarios. But with this month's featured product, that's going to change. Today, we're showcasing NASCO Healthcare's Alex Gen AI Patient Communication Simulator. And this cutting edge platform uses the latest in generative AI technology to produce the most realistic and comprehensive communication training experience available today. Not only does it help sharpen your technical procedures, but it also develops the communication and empathy skills that are essential for patient centered care. So, to explore this really fun product with me today, I'm going to be welcoming my most favorite person from NASCO Healthcare, Melissa Dummer. So, Melissa, welcome to Anatomy Warehouse.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, hey, no problem. We're super excited about featuring Alex Gen AI with Anatomy Warehouse, so we'll just keep him talking.
Well, one of the big things we love here at Anatomy Warehouse is just being real and authentic. We're not going to be super stuffy about this. We're just going to have fun today. But yeah, let's kick it off. Tell me a bit more about Alex and all of their capabilities.
So the base level mannequin that you see here today is our Alex Gen AI. This is a pro level mannequin, and there are 3 different levels with the Alex Gen AI software. This is our medium skin tone. So Alex is featured in not only the medium skin tone like we see here today, but we also have him in a light skin tone as well. Alex is a full body mannequin, and he has a lot of different features, from fully articulating arms and legs to pulse points throughout. He does have a fully intubatable airway. Has other features that are pretty specific to the software and specific to Alex in the form of an iris camera in his right eye. Pulse points throughout, so he does have independent breathing and chest rise, so he does have that as well. Alex is very simply comes out of the box as a male, but he is easy to convert into a female. So we also have the female update kit here on the table. Comes with a different chest skin that's very simple in the form of a zipper system on the shoulder and at the side. Just simply zips on and zips off so that you can change Alex in a relatively fast pace. Also comes with some hair. I believe there's some makeup. There might be some eyelashes still in the package. Some of that stuff gets lost over the course of multiple shows that he's been at.
But yeah, I think you've put quite a few miles on with this guy. I saw you in January. Was it with the same unit?
I believe so. This Alex has actually been around for a long time, so Alex can absolutely stand the test of time. The hardware warranty is 5 years out of the box. So
Amazing.
that is a NASCO Healthcare standard, and we will feature and take care of the mannequin for that first 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked with you guys for years. You've always really stood behind the product, and it's cool that Alex is keeping up with that standard of care and quality that you guys have always been known for.
Yeah, for sure. He's a great simulator. So the mannequin out of the box is always going to look like this. The big major changes and the differences are really within that software platform.
Awesome. So it sounds like we've got a lot of really classic simulation opportunities on the physical side. You mentioned the intubation airway. That's always such a popular and asked for feature, especially in trauma scenarios. But obviously, what is really exciting about Alex is the software and the generative AI, which I think is so cool. So why don't we just have some fun? How do we want to kick off talking about the software? I see a couple of items here,
Yeah.
so walk us through what we've got.
Yeah, so the base mannequin comes with all very standard items, a very standard 10-inch Android tablet, also a auscultation smart scope. So the smart scope is specific to heart, lung, and bowel sounds. He also has a blood pressure cuff that is specific to the mannequin as well. So those are the very simplistic and basic things that are included with him. In the software platform, Alex does include, again, 3 variations: Alex Gen AI, Alex Plus, and Alex Pro. So the differences between those few variations is really just in that software platform.
Got it.
So the number of questions that the students can ask the mannequin in a day, the amount of simulation log archive, those are the major differences with the Alex software platform, in addition to other things like CPR feedback and other physiological things that you can program within the Alex Gen AI software.
I think it's so cool that you have the ability to log the, interactions. I know that educators are constantly looking to give students real-time feedback on a personalized level, and I think it's incredible that the mannequin does that so easily for everyone.
Absolutely. So Alex can not only see with his iris camera, he can also hear, and then he also subsequently responds. So that AI conversational soft skills part of the mannequin is very, very integral.
Love it. All right, so we've got the tablet, we've got
Yeah.
the smart scope. Should we just dive in and have some fun with this girl, boy, anybody you want
Yeah.
it to be?
I think we should.
All right, cool. Well, so let's talk about some of the basic features you mentioned. The smart scope. Why don't we show some of that feature off, and then we'll get into the really exciting stuff which is the
Sure.
conversations.
Sure. So Alex, once you start an Alex patient, and today I think we will start with Vivian Lopez, who is a new patient into a clinic, and she's just there to get a new doctor. She might be new in town. The conversation can flow as normal. She's relatively young and healthy, so we'll start with Vivian, and then we can kind of I can show you how the auscultation smart scope works and some added features related to the smart scope. But we'll get her going so that we can start talking with the mannequin as it's ready. So simply within that software platform, it automatically pops open to your vital signs parameters, which is really, really nice. We also have a feature within the software platform called TeamSpace. So as most educators know and understand, every student can't always be on campus on the days that they're meant to be scheduled and be there. Maybe they've got daycare issues, maybe they're having trouble with their car. I don't know.
Yeah.
TeamSpace is really cool because it's the instructor's capability to invite those students to still attend the simulation from their computer at home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really nice feature. Or maybe they're asking for some more generous donations to get another Alex, and they want to invite a general donor or someone to the simulation to see how the mannequin works and how the students are interacting with the mannequin. TeamSpace is pretty cool. The sound settings menu is relatively simplistic. You have the ability to do heart, lung, both bifurcated lungs, so right and left, and then also those bowel sounds. It's a simple procedure as far as tap and play, so the software is easy to deal with. All they have to do is tap and make any changes as they so choose. Again, right and left, and all the normal basic sounds are available included with the software platform, irregardless of the mannequin that they purchase.
Love it.
Yeah, and the bowel sounds. So very standard, very basic things. The other thing that we talked about too was that not only does Alex hear and respond, but he also sees. So Alex is currently watching our cameraman back there.
Wave to Alex, Matt.
Wave to Alex, Matt. So, his iris camera is live feed, so again, the differences in those software platforms is the ability to record
Yeah.
and how long and how much recording that they can do with that iris camera. So again, those soft communication skills, very important. The key in having a conversation with another person is looking them in the face, talking to them, especially those people that are really not well, right? Vivian today, she's okay, but there are patients within the Alex software platform that aren't doing so well, and we'll talk
Ooh.
about them too.
Well, I shouldn't celebrate that, but I'm excited to see their capabilities.
Yeah. So the other thing that the software platform does really nicely is captures in the simulation log. So any interaction that the students and or the instructor are having with the mannequin is tracked heavily within the simulation log. So we can see that
Oh, we got some chest
Vivian's
drives going
here.
here.
We've got, yep, and she's just breathing independently. We can feel pulse points on the mannequin. So there's bilateral carotid, radial, brachial, and then also pedal pulses in the feet. And as we are palpating and feeling these pulse points, the simulation in the software program is picking up the fact that the left or right radial pulse has been palpated. So again, for instructors, it's really key because they have that opportunity to not only interact and see what's happening from that patient's perspective with the iris camera, but also the mannequin is feeling as well. So not only are the pulse points getting picked up within that simulation log, also if you're auscultating with the smart scope, you can also get those picked up as well. The smart scope is specific to the mannequin, and it has some really nice little neat features. So the power button, you can charge the smart scope, and then this is just a little speaker port. So I did bring just a very basic set of speakers so it would be easier for the audience to hear the sounds coming from the mannequin. Just plugs in there.
Well, I can definitely feel Alex's pulse, but let's listen to her breathing.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
As we're getting that on there, we are hearing the respiratory. So for physical.
I can hear it in the stethoscope too.
Can you hear it? Wonderful. Maybe it's not coming through the speakers quite as well. Oh, I can hear it a little bit. Oh, there it went.
Oh yeah. Nice breathing, Vivian.
Yeah. So those auscultation points are not only on the front of the mannequin, but they're also on the back. So as you're doing things with the mannequin, we can also hear these sounds, and we're tracking and doing things at the back as well.
Yeah, the logging is so cool. It's not just you doing it, but verifying the steps that you've taken, which is going to be great for feedback to the education, or from the educators to the students.
Absolutely. So should we have a chat with Vivian and see how she's doing?
Let's do it.
Okay. So the mannequin is set up with a couple of different noises. So when we touch the mannequin's shoulder, there's a sensor in the shoulder, and what we will hear is a high tone. So there's a beep beep, and then there's also a low tone, a beep beep. And that means
do that one more time.
And that means that the mannequin is waiting. So we'll hear let's hear the high tone and the low tone. So you can hear the differences in the tones. So that's kind of a key, factor when interfacing with the mannequin. Is Alex or Vivian, can be set up to be just sitting and waiting as the students are doing any kind of assessments. Oh yes, we're Vivian, so we should have her hair on.
It's a pretty nice set of hair you've got there, Vivian.
She's got some nice highlights.
Little side part. The eyelashes lacking is throwing me a little bit, but no problem.
Yeah, we can do that. You can put a bunch of stuff on here. The face of the mannequin is actually a silicone base, so it is responsive and does do well with any kind of moulage or makeup, things like that. We've seen customers do all sorts of things with Alex. So let's have a chat with Vivian. Let's get her ready. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Vivian Lopez.
Well, nice to meet you, Vivian.
Nice to meet you too.
My name is Melissa, and I'm your practitioner today.
Great. Thank you.
What brings you into the clinic?
I'm here to establish primary care.
Okay, and where are you coming from?
I've been living in Crest Hill.
All right. And you've recently moved here?
Yes, I moved here about a year ago.
And how is your health overall? Are you feeling pretty good?
Yes, I'm feeling good. I have no current health complaints.
Very good. Do you take anything to keep your health in good form?
I take ibuprofen for occasional pain relief.
Okay, where is your pain usually? Do you get headaches or other places is your pain?
I don't get headaches. I just take it for general pain relief.
Okay, that makes sense. Vivian, are you sexually active?
Yes, I am.
And are you using any kind of contraception?
I take birth control pills.
Okay, and do those seem to be working well for you?
Yes, they are. I've been taking them for 10 years.
Okay, great. Vivian, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
Okay.
Hey, Vivian, my name's Liz. I'm here with your practitioner, Melissa, and how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Remind me, where do you live?
I live in Crest Hill.
What's it like out there? Do you have any hobbies or things you like to do there?
I like to go out to eat with friends and my girlfriend. I also enjoy wine tastings with my girlfriend.
I love that. What's your favorite kind of wine?
I like Pinot Grigio.
Interesting. And when you're drinking a good Pinot Grigio, what's a good food pairing you tend to enjoy with it?
I like to pair it with pizza.
Interesting. Do you have a type of pizza that you really love to pair Pinot Grigio with?
I like to pair it with a margarita pizza.
Margarita is my favorite pizza. That's really cool.
Yes, it's a classic combination.
Totally. And what else do you like to do in Crest Hill?
I like to go to spin classes and Pilates.
Ooh, Pilates. No wonder you're so healthy. You're taking good care of yourself.
Yes, I try to.
You said you have a girlfriend. What's her name?
Her name is Melissa.
Melissa, like the woman we're hanging out with right now? That's spicy.
Yes, that's right.
I love it. And I think I could talk to you all day.
Thank
But I think I could talk to you all day, Vivian. Do you have any other clinical questions for her, Melissa?
No. I probably shouldn't ask her those questions, right?
I probably shouldn't ask her those questions, but I just think this is so cool that you can have a real conversation, and the conversation flows naturally. We've not practiced any of this, and
Nope.
it's really interesting to see how you guys are integrating AI into the mannequins in a way that feels authentic and you can have a real conversation.
Yeah, so the AI has been super influential for having that simplistic, easy, flowing conversation with what presents as a patient or, whomever that practitioner needs that patient to be. So Alex is super leading edge because it's not like this is a standardized patient who might go off script or might have other physical ailments that the students might pick up on. Alex is always going to effectively communicate in the same way every time and create that consistency in learning that health educators really need and desire with patient mannequins. So Vivian was super healthy and easygoing, but we can talk to somebody else if you like.
Yeah, I'd love to dive into maybe a more complex scenario or one with maybe the ability to dive a bit deeper into the healthcare aspect. Not that Vivian wasn't fun. And seriously, I do love margarita pizza. Pairing with the Pinot Grigio is a little questionable, but
yeah, I'd have a beer personally, but I mean, whatever.
we're from Wisconsin, of course we would.
So would we like to talk to Andrew P. Landry, who's been in a car accident, or maybe we have Alex Cason, who has some chest pain?
Let's talk to somebody who's had a car accident. I think there's a lot that we can unpack with this scenario.
Okay, so Andrew P. Landry's a man, so now we're going to change back. Oops.
Love the wig though.
Yeah. Yep, the female update kit is a additional purchase. So what again comes out of the box is Alex in his very base form. The female update kit is a separate purchase, as is the IV arm. So the other additional purchase with the mannequin is the ability to populate an IV arm onto the mannequin as well. So you can see on the end there, it is a gravity-driven system. So very simple, one bag putting the fluid in, another bag catching the fluid coming through. The skins and the veins can be replaced, so the school doesn't have to send it back for any kind of repair. They can do that on their own. And then there's also an injection site in the shoulder as well.
I can feel that.
Yeah, they can absolutely do injections too. So Alex can be an even more well-rounded simulator for different clinical practice. So let's see about Andrew P. Landry. My fingers didn't want to pick him and get him going. So switching between patients is relatively easy.
I've been watching it. It looks really easy.
Yeah, switching between the patients is relatively easy. The mannequin comes with 4 patients pretty standardly, and then the AI software also gives that customer the ability to change and edit and make those patients be who they need them to be. And the AI is very generative throughout, so they can type in the questions that they want to be asking the patient, and then the AI will populate answers. Not to say that Alex is stuck with those answers. parameters, they can absolutely delete and say, you know what, no, I don't want them to say that, or I don't want that patient to say that, I want them to say this. But anything that they change, they have to follow through in the script, right? So if they're going to change and say Andrew has been in a car accident and his wife's name is Bunny, then they need to change Bunny throughout the course of their entire patient that they're populating.
Got it. I mean, but it is really helpful that you can sort of start with the baseline patient and augment the conversation really easily.
It's basically like copying and pasting, and then the AI does the rest. So as you're typing in what questions you want to ask, the AI is going to do the rest and populate the rest of the conversation for you.
Brilliant.
Super easy, super easy. Think ChatGPT for a mannequin conversationally. So let's see what Andrew has to say.
High tone.
Good afternoon. What's your
I'm
name?
sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you please repeat?
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew P. Landry.
What brings you in today, Andrew?
I was in a car accident and hit my head on the windshield. The police told me to wait for you.
Okay. And how are you feeling?
I have a headache and I'm a little nauseated.
Okay. Have we given you anything yet?
No, I haven't had anything to drink yet.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about your accident? Were you wearing a seatbelt?
No, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. My colleague was driving and I was sitting in the passenger seat.
Okay. Andrew, have you had anything to drink today?
Yes, I had a couple of drinks at lunch before the accident.
Okay. And by drinks, do you mean cocktails, alcoholic beverages?
Yes, I had 2 cocktails.
Okay. And what type of cocktail was it?
It was a Long Island iced tea.
Okay. And approximately how long ago were those Long Island iced teas?
I had them about an hour ago.
Okay. Have you ever had a head injury before?
No, this is the first time I've had a head injury like this.
Are you having any trouble with your vision?
No, my vision is fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you please repeat?
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't having any visual issues. Are you able to see okay?
Yes, I can see fine.
Okay. And Andrew, how did you get here today?
I was in the ambulance.
Okay. And is there someone that's coming that we can call, or somebody to call to come help you from the hospital today?
No, I don't think so. I just want to make sure I'm okay before I go back to work.
Oh, okay. And is there someone here to transport you?
No, I don't think so. I just want to make sure I'm okay before I go back to work.
Okay. Andrew, do you mind if I take your vital signs?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So Andrew is a little confused, I think, from his car accident. And we can still do the same vital parameters. What we can see and what we can also do in the sound settings within the simulation in the software platform is we can do some very basic things too. So we can have him clear his throat. There's a gasp, there's some other things. The key with Alex in the software is ensuring that the internet stays nice and solid and connected. So currently, I think Alex gave me a double buzz, which means that he has dropped from the internet currently.
That sounds critical.
Yeah, he keeps buzzing me. So things like that are one of the things that make it a little bit interesting to work with a Wi-Fi and online mannequin. The thing that you can do to prevent that and prevent any of these issues is he does have a port on his side.
Classic
so you can
Ethernet.
hardwire this guy straight into the internet, and then there won't be any connectivity issues at all whatsoever. But for sure, Andrew's been in a car accident. He's had some drinks, and now he's offline.
Well, I am bummed that we don't get to ask him, what he was thinking, trying to go back to work after drinking in the middle of the day. But, this is part of what we get into in training is you need to be able to adapt in real time to anything, including internet connectivity.
Including internet connectivity and different issues. So on his side, there's some different things as well. So for the folks out there that are really truly interested on Alex's side, again, is that the port to hardwire him into the internet if they so chose. Alex has a really nice long battery life, so he runs, with a full charge, he can go for about 8 hours, depending on how intensely they're running him. 6 to 8 is what we usually say that he will be okay to be wireless, tetherless. Also on his side is his power button. And then the other thing that's on his side is a really nice label that gives things like his simulator ID. So if a customer were to ever struggle or have any issues with the mannequin, the simulator ID is super key for us at NASCO Healthcare to help them out with the mannequin after the fact. That 5-year warranty, again, we stand behind, so we're going to help you out. We have tech support. We have people that will answer questions all day, every day. The other thing that the software does really too is that you can do different things and go to different areas and show different assignments. You can also go back. So the also key thing with the software platform is the ability to go back and take a look at what has been done with the mannequin, right?
Yeah.
So instructors are perpetually asking for feedback and data, and they need to show their students over the course of a period of time. The Simulation Log Archive captures all of that. So captures all the interactions, captures the iris camera that they can record if they so choose, captures any of the physical data that the student has done in conjunction with the mannequin, and they can open it and review it. The other thing that they can do too is that there is a very large space where they can add and do any kind of different checklists. So if some instructors like to allow students to just come, interact with the mannequin, do what they need to do, capture the feedback, and then move on with their day. And some instructors like to really take a look and see what the students are doing and follow along. So checklists can be created. They can sit and check and say, oh, yep, student X did this, they did that. The other thing that the simulation log does really nicely too is they can add any kind of comments or content right into that simulation log. So student Liz, did really good with, developing a rapport with the patient, making them feel comfortable, helping them through the car accident issues. However, she didn't apply the blood pressure cuff correctly. Or they could also make themselves little notes too about their generated patient. So as they're working with the software platform, they can generate their own patients. And maybe through the course of the simulation, they go, ooh, what I really wanted was to see Alex's blood pressure bottom out after he says that he has a stomach ache and he has a headache. What I wanted to see was the blood pressure bottom out, and then the students would have to do something additional. So they can make themselves little notes in the course of the simulation log too, to help them remember, like, ooh, I want to add this, I want to change this, I want to edit this and make this ever so slightly different. And they have access to those patients, and they can make as many patients as they like.
Yeah, I love that you guys are able to not only provide, the instructors with the ability to give the students feedback, but for the instructors to also improve and give themselves feedback by going through those logs. I think, one of the things that we really love about our culture here at Anatomy Warehouse is feedback. And that should go up, down, left, right. And so it's great that the software gives the instructors the ability to kind of give themselves feedback. Can the students leave feedback as well?
Basically what's recorded, via the iris camera, and then what they're doing physically with the mannequin is the student interaction. The other thing that the instructors could do with this little tablet as well is populate this as a bedside station. So if they were stating that Alex is in a clinic or a hospital where they might have a vital signs monitor, behind them on the wall, whatever, they can populate this tablet to be a vital signs station only, or they can have it be a bedside station or a monitor where subsequently, if the simulation was driving any kind of CPR activity, they can see the value of their CPR on that bedside station as well.
Super immersive. I love that.
Yeah, it works out pretty nice.
All right. Is there anything else that we should know about Alex?
Nope, just that Alex is a flexible, portable mannequin. He ships for about 67 pounds, so he folds literally in half in his case, which makes him easy to transport, and put positionably in different spaces. Of course, sitting up, the iris cam always looks the nicest, but he can absolutely be put on a floor. He's wireless, he's tetherless, he connects to the internet wirelessly, so he is his own Wi-Fi router, and he can do all those things very seamlessly, and he's relatively lightweight. The bulk of his weight is is from his hips up to his head, but his legs are very flexible, and he's capable of being positioned kind of in situ wherever he needs to be. The other thing is, if your customers happen to have, if they have an existing Alex mannequin and they would like the generative AI, we can work with that as well. So, and then there's different packages available for the generative AI mannequins that are new out of the box. Fully understanding that budgets sometimes can be sensitive, we have 3 different models of the Alex Gen AI, and then you can also add to the software platform as well. So sometimes money comes in different variations. Sometimes it's more one year than it is other years. So you can absolutely purchase additional software on top of the Alex Gen AI mannequin as well to give you more time with that software platform.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that because the software component isn't like hardware where it's stuck in its configuration forever, you guys are allowing students and educators to, give more and get more out of the mannequin. So the modularity is really clever. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. And then the IV arm, the female update kit gives, the mannequin the additional voices. And yeah, he works pretty slick.
I mean, it's kind of everything, you get so much out of this mannequin right out of the box, like you said. You said it ships at 67 pounds. We ship it for free. So this thing could be 100 pounds.
Right.
And I think that it's so cool that you guys are really bringing AI into the simulation environment so that way we can, again, practice the soft skills that are really necessary between the patient and the healthcare professional. Bedside manner is something that I think we really want to make sure we're encouraging in a simulation environment. Empathy is, I think, how we create a safe place for patients to fully describe their scenario, how they're feeling, and it's so important that we practice that.
Right. A person walking into the clinic is more than just their diagnosis. The goal, of course, is to figure out, how to treat them and take care of them, but they are absolutely more than just that diagnosis. And I think those soft skills are absolutely needed, coming from, eras of being behind a computer all the time or, behind a camera, on one side, conversations can get pretty one-sided. So having that iris camera and the ability to really show if the student has turned away from their laptop, have they looked at the patient, all of these things are absolutely being captured with the Alex patient mannequin. If the simulation is demanding a carotid pulse check versus a radial pulse check, the software program is picking all of that up. So there is no, contention between student and instructor either. The software platform is very easily, capable of showing the recording back and then showing that simulation log archive. So they can absolutely go through it one by one and show them all the different points. So debrief with Alex is very key.
And I think, again, with the ease of setup for the new scenarios, I know back in our early days, you would have to program so much into the mannequin. You'd have to write all these different scenarios out. And it's just so cool that you guys have leveraged the new technology coming out to make that so much easier for both the instructors and for the students. And it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's very much a type and tap platform, so if the instructor is following along and maybe, they have an overconfident student, and that overconfident student is just kind of plowing through the scenario, they know what the next steps are, they can absolutely trip these students up by influencing, the mannequin through the middle of the simulation. They can bottom them out, they could do different things, they can say different things. They also can do different things as far as talking through the mannequin. So maybe they have a student who is a little underconfident and they're frozen and they're not quite sure what they're supposed to do next. The instructor can use their voice and talk through the mannequin as well and say, listen, student Liz, I think the next thing that you might want to do is take the mannequin's blood pressure, so they can help guide those students in a vocal way as well. So they're not standing over and hovering, over their students. They can actually be very comfortable in their own office. So the one thing that we didn't really talk about is the fact that Alex is a cloud-based mannequin. So you can run him with this little tablet, or the instructor could run him from their office across campus, as long as what they're running the mannequin with and the mannequin are connected on the same internet service, then they're good to go.
Well, how about you leave the tablet with me and then you take Alex home and we can talk to each other through Alex.
We could do that. We could just have a conversation. I could sit and stare and look at him. I'll put his hair on because I mean you've got some hair. We got to put some hair on him.
Hair, no hair. I think it
Yeah.
would be fun to use Alex as like a teleportation device to talk to you more often.
I'd love that. I'd love that.
Well, Melissa, I'm so grateful that you came into the office today. It's always fun to see you and catch up, as well as learn more about the awesome products that you guys are cooking up at NASCO Healthcare.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm happy to come anytime.
Love it. Cool. Well, I want to say thank you again to you, Melissa, for coming in. And as a reminder, you can see Alex and all of the variations on our website, anatomywarehouse.com. If you have questions about it, give us a call, send us an email. You can also request a quote very easily. And as a NASCO distributor, we'll get this thing to you guys super quickly. Yeah, I guess that's it for Alex for now. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching and watches in the future for joining us and for continuing to explore hands-on learning with us here at the Hands-On Lab at Anatomy Warehouse. The groundbreaking technology and capabilities of Alex Gen AI are really incredible for all the reasons Melissa and I have already explored. And personally, I think it's so important that we continue to bring products like this to the market and to ensure that we're living up to our mission where we create a space of curiosity and really high quality hands-on learning. So be sure to join us next month where we're going to be highlighting some of Erler Zimmer's 3D printed cadaver replicas. Sneak peek, there are a few hanging out around behind me. And we're going to dive into the incredibly lifelike cadaver replicas that cover everything from muscular and vascular and nervous system anatomy to different levels of dissection, superficial, deep. They're truly incredible products, and I'm really excited to talk about them with you guys next month. But for now, this is Liz from Anatomy Warehouse, where we are the champions of hands-on healthcare education and where curiosity thrives. We'll catch you guys next time.